live from Budapest at the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and we are just about to set off. We're just waiting for the rest of the drivers to come in now. As you see, we're in the lobby, and let's just. And you can see that it's a very tight, twisty track. It's like Monaco. Well, like Monaco without the barriers in some way, even though the barriers are still quite close, and it's very difficult to overtake on this track. As you can see, it's very twisty, and it's also can be very dusty as well offline. Obviously we've got 5 compounds like at any other racetrack, but of course the dry tires do vary. So we've got the ultra softs, the softs, and the mediums tonight. And of course because we got the intermediates and wets just in case it rains, which it has rained in Hungary in the first 20 years of Hungary. I don't think it ever rained once, and then in 2006 and then we had a couple of wet races in the late 2000s, and in 2010 and onward of course we had the wet race in 2006 where Jenson Button won his first ever Grand Prix. We also had where Jenson Button also won his 200th Grand Prix as well in 2011. Great race that was for McLaren. And of course we had a damp race in 2014 where Ricardo came through to brilliantly win that race. One of the better races that was of that year. A great race to see. So Hungary does throw up some surprises. And of course last night we did have a couple of surprises. As Vanquish, we found out the Vanquish is not as robotic and unbeatable as we usually think he is. He made a very rare mistake last night and retired, but he still got a point. Samster looked absolutely amazing last night. Brilliant drive from him. And of course, this is all on the IRC channel. If you want to go back and watch it, it'll be there, well, forever. So yeah, I do recommend you go back and watch it. It was a great race last night, very entertaining as well. And of course, unfortunately, Slim did a bit of a Leclerc, and he even quoted him as well last night in the chat. So unfortunately for Slim as well, he's lost ground in the championship. But and also, of course, rookie Jamie did a brilliant job last night. Of course, that was his first ever race in the IRC, and finished on the podium. So very well done very big props to Jamie there. As you can see, then we are just about to get ready. We got 17 drivers in the lobby. We got a couple of debutants. I think we got Devon. No, I don't think that's how you say it. But Devon's in the Red Bull. Of course, he's replacing Dave Shaw. We'll go through where Dave and Matt is in a second. Of course, we've got Rocketoni in here. We've got Broke Gorilla making his debut here tonight. I've raced with Broke Gorilla before. A very sensible and very clean driver. So I hope he enjoys himself tonight on his debut. And of course, I think those are the only 2 debutants we've got in the field. Of course, Matt is enjoying himself on holidays, being a Liverpool supporter and all that. And of course, Dave is getting ready for his one of the biggest days of his life, and we're hoping it all goes well. Fingers crossed from everyone at IRC that it's a perfect day. So and of course, Dave will be back in the commentary box sometime after the 25th of May, which I think is the big day. Of course, Matt will be back with us next week. Of course, I think Dave and Matt are both racing next week, but of course Matt will also be back in the commentary box next week for the Elite. So we are just going to get ready then, as we're still waiting for a couple of guys to come in, I think, because we've only got 17 at the moment, so I'm just having a look down. So I haven't actually had a look at the chat then, and yeah, let's see what's going on at the moment then. So I think we're just about to get ready. I should really share the link, really, shouldn't I? Give me a second. And yeah, so Hungary is, to be honest, kind of, I must admit, it does describe me quite a lot, because I'm always hungry. But yeah, the Hungarian Grand Prix, it's been on the calendar since 1986. To be honest, it's I must admit, only recently have I really enjoyed the Hungarian Grand Prix. Up until I thought that some of the races were very processional. Well, then again, I was watching it in the Schumacher era, wasn't I? So a lot of the races were were a bit like follow the leader. But yeah, I must admit, recent years there have been some amazing races here. Because we'll go back through the highlight reel in a minute. as I'm just about to share the link. To be honest, you would think that I've been doing this for quite a while now. You would think that I'll be I'll be much better at this, but yeah, what could you do? So yeah, we'll get there in a minute. Yeah. So yeah, we are live from Hungary, and hopefully we'll get going in a minute. We've got another driver in the lobby, and who is that? Let me see if I'm any good at spot the difference. I don't think I am, to be honest. Yeah. Well, I couldn't see if that was anyone different. So yeah, we are about to get going in a minute. Yeah, but Hungary, well, because we got last night we did the old school kind of qualifying session where there was just one session of 18 minutes, and of course they went around. But of course tonight we're going to be doing Q1, Q2, and Q3. Of course, qualifying 1 is 18 minutes long, Q2 is 15 minutes long, and the final qualifying session is 12 minutes long. You can see there's the start and finish straight here, and you can see look at the facilities. Quite old school, aren't they? And of course that's just coming out of turn 3, that is, and going up to turn 4, one of the fastest corners on the circuit. Turn 4, I just really enjoy that corner. And you see there's the final corner as well. Then so we got I think got 17 drivers on the grid tonight. So we're going to be my maths isn't very good, so I think that we'll be losing 2 guys in the first qualifying session, but we'll confirm that in a minute. What's this loading up then? So in the drivers' championship, we have at the moment Blas, who has been absolutely outstanding this season. Of course, he's gone from a midfield runner right to the top of the table, so he's done like a Jensen Button kind of thing, hasn't he? But obviously these cars are equal, so it's not, you can't really put it down to the car. Blas has just been practicing, and now he's really showing the way in the championship. And he's got a decent lead of 6. Well, I wouldn't say it's a decent lead. He's got a 16-point lead at the moment, as we're just getting into qualifying now. So Blas has got a 16-point lead. That is over Nolsey, or Prize Kumquat, as we discovered in the last stream. I think it's some kind of fruit. So our favourite Peru driver. We got Rockatoni, of course, who drove both in this league and in the Elite League last night, so let's see how well he does tonight. Not that bad in 4th. Hunter is 5th. Matt, who's missing tonight, is enjoying himself in Spain, is 6th. Murphy 7th. Roscoe 8th. Imcar 9th. And SD in 10th position. I was looking at the standings. I'm really surprised to see how low Azdog is, because Azdog has been there or thereabouts in this season. He's just, I think it's been more bad luck, really. And in the constructors, obviously, I think one of the strongest teams on the grid is definitely the Force India guys. And well, it just shows in the constructors, don't it? They're out in front at the moment. Force India, they've got a 66-point lead, because they're the only team in the 200 mark so far. 227 points so far. As we're watching Murphy come out of the pits now, it's looking very dull out there at the moment. And second in constructors is actually Dan Murphy's team, and that is the only Mercedes driver, I believe, on the grid tonight, and that is Murphy. So he'll be flying the Silver Arrows flag. We got Toro Rosso in 3rd. Of course, 4th position is McLaren, Haas in 5th, Renault 6th, Ferrari in 7th. My own team. The reason why they're down in 7th is because of me and my lack of scoring points. 8th position is at the Williams. 9th is Red Bull. And Sauber at the moment is bringing up the rear in 10th position then. So we're on board then. Look, it's very dull out there, isn't it? I wonder if we're going to get a bit of rain in this part of the world. As Kogut has joined. Of course, Kogut also drove last night. Unfortunately didn't survive very long last night, but hopefully to honest, and he's left the session again, unfortunately, so hopefully he can get back in there. But now just on board with Murphy. You can see it's very dull out there at the moment. So yeah, as we were saying before, up until 2006 it never rained, we never had a wet race here. And then 2006, I keep mentioning it, Jensen Button's first ever win. And of course I think Anthony Davidson was at the commentary box that day alongside James Allen, as I always remember. As coming down now into turn 1 is Dan Murphy. Getting on, so there's 2 DRS zones around this technical, twisty, dusty track. There is on the DRS, it's on the start-finish straight, and coming out of turn 2, we've got a yellow flag in sector 3. I think it's someone just getting out of the way. So we're on board with Murphy now then. Coming into the super fast turn 4, and he's gone wide. It's very, that corner can be very very painful, and you can see I think he's gone wide and invalidated his lap, so that's a shame for Murphy at the moment. Of course, got a yellow flag, that is of course for Murphy. We've got Broke Gorilla, who's making his debut in the Renault tonight, as Koga joins again. So Broke Gorilla, and I'm sure that Dev damn, oh no, as Koga's left the session again. Divan, yeah, that'll do. Divan in the Red Bull, of course, also making his debut tonight as well. Number 26, the Mercedes. So just having a look up and down the field, we got Prize out there. We got Gorilla, who's the only man on the soft tire at the moment. The number 22 Renault. We got Divan, who's in the Red Bull. I got there, guys. Don't worry. So he's replacing Dave Shaw tonight. Fitico is out as well. Double is on the ultra soft tires. We're just having a look to see who is going to be first to come across that line. Snap coming out of the pits with a blaze of glory. Asdog is just about to start his lap. Kingsburg, and I think that Dan is going for Noah Ren. The invalidated time. And I think Broke Gorilla might be the first one to cross the line, and he's done a 1:20.2 on the soft tire. We have got a McLaren coming through, a Stee, but I think he's just about to start his time. Stee is, as he comes down into turn 1, because turn 1 has been extended a couple of years ago. Well, when I say a couple of years ago, 2003. Double goes fastest on a 1:19 there. Good time there from Double, 1:19.7 on the ultra soft tires. In the car in 99, in the 99 Sauber, of course the same number that Adrian Sutil had a couple of years ago. Also goes for Sauber. Divan goes up into pole position currently with 1:19.0 in the Red Bull. I keep going to call him Sauber for some reason. I don't know what's going on. But look at that. Nolsey, aka Kumquat, has just done a 1:16.4, but then Hunter follows that closely at 1:16.8, so these times are quite rapid so far. These guys are out very early. I wonder if there's some weather front coming in. And we have got Murphy now, second time of asking, now goes up second. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. I think there's someone just come out the way. Here comes Asdog, as we were talking about earlier. Asdog only 11th in the championship. Expecting to be a bit harder than that, but he comes across the line, goes 5th fastest at the moment, 1:18.4. I think that was just to put a banker lap in to see where everyone is or thereabouts. Physico on a lap. We've got a yellow flag as Stee goes full fastest in the McLaren. We just seen him start a lap, I think, earlier on. Physico coming to the end of the lap, and who else is coming to an end of the lap? Blas is just starting, and so it's not that bad then coming around the final couple of corners then. And what is he going to do? DRS right open, so not that bad. That is not that bad time at all for not that bad. He's in 5th position at the moment. And what about Physico coming across the line in the Williams? I think he's just starting a lap by the looks, because I think he might have invalidated this lap, unfortunately. On board with Kingsburg in the I think this helmet does look a lot like the 1 Montoya helmet back in 2004. I must admit I quite like the helmet. And Koga comes and goes again, and Kingsburg goes 6th fastest in the Williams, so good time there from the number 32 Williams. Of course, I must admit I do miss the Martini livery of the Williams. There's now their Rocket Williams. So Physico going again, and he looks like he was quicker at that lap. Snap out, and called Blas is out as well. On board with Blas, of course, both Toro Rossos are out there at the moment. So we got 11 minutes to go, coming through the final couple of corners. And Broke Gorilla has now come out on the ultra soft tires, of course, making his debut. I think he just wants to get his eye in. Coming across, we're going to lose 2 cars, and Blas might have invalidated his time there, so he's going to have to go again. So what about Snap then? Snap had a great race in Germany, didn't he? Up until he was on a great battle with with Steve Penny. It was a joy to watch for Snap, but unfortunately it did come to blows in the end. But up until that point, Snap looked very impressive as well. As I think Sven just gone in. No, it's not Sven. Physico going very wide. Snap is at the end of the. But he's got to 8th. Good time there from Snaps. The weather is brightened quite nicely, 500 of a second, and Blas is quicker than his time before. He's in the second sector. This second sector is very hard to overtake him. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be very brave to overtake. And we was talking to Hunter last night. Of course, Hunter at the moment is second. Of course, my co-commentator on Wednesday nights at the moment. He was saying that it's very hard to overtake. There's only 4 places you can overtake, and even then, though, 3 of those 4 places, well, 2 of those 4 places are very optimistic. I would say the most realistic chance of overtaking is probably turn 1 and coming out into turn 2. We had a great time. I look at that, a 1:16.3 for Blaz. So at the moment, the guys that are first and second in the championship really starting to mean to go on some very quick times there. So hopefully, well, just got a that's not a very good message to come up. Rocket Tony then coming down into turn 1. Steve Penny comes across the line and he's going to start his lap now. As I think we're going to follow Rocket Tony at the moment. So he's just coming out of turn 2 now. I don't know why that message is coming from. Just having a quick look. Whoa, look at this! He almost losing control of the car there, but it's a very well saved from the Irishman, Rocket Tony. And he's now, because the Force India are head and shoulders above everyone else in the constructors, looking very strong as well. The Force India. Our car looks very lively on the back here. We're on board with Rocket Tony now. You can see coming through the twisty second section now. Now this corner, if it catches you out, I think it's turn 13 that corner is. It's very unlucky for Sam, as they got a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. I think it might just be someone recovering. So Rocket Tony there, a couple of bites of the cherry there coming out of turn 14. And yellow flag in sector 2. Now coming into the final turn now. DRS is almost there, or better, but whoa, very close there. And he goes 7 faster than Rocket Tony is, so decent lap. I think it's a decent lap to get on the board. We are going to lose 2 drivers. Steve Penny now comes across the line and he goes up to 9th vehicle. Steve Penny improving every week on the wheel, isn't he? And he's starting to look like a top 10 regular lately. Good stuff from Steve Penny. Sven is out. Sven is out of the qualifying session. I think he might have binned it. Possibly might have binned it. And we've got yellow flags. Oh no, yeah, Sven has unfortunately binned it coming out of turn 4, and that's a massive accident. That's quite an easy thing to do. Grosjean did that a couple of years ago, I think. And I think he did it under the safety car, didn't he? I might be wrong about that. But we're on board with double at the moment. And this is coming around the final couple of corners. So at the moment, and we're going to lose 2 cars. Sven is now on the bubble, even though he's got a 7/10 gap over double. So, but Sven is not looking very healthy getting through that at the moment. Duvan is also looking a bit worrying there. So double goes up to 14th now. So he stays 14th, I believe. And Price is retired from the session. I don't think he's done anything too major there. Roscoe's still in the pit, so we might have to call him the Iceman because he's the coolest guy out there at the moment. Blaz also retired as well. The 2 guys in the 116 who are first and second at the moment are feeling very confident. We're on board with Devan now, coming into the final couple of corners. Rocket Tony also happy with his time. And now into the final, as you can see at the moment, Red Bulls are 15th and 16th, and into the final corner. You can see, look at the car trying to go out wide. DRS enabled. As he's on the hot lap here, where does he go? Devan goes up into 12th, so decent time for Devan. He's in front of Asdog. Asdog might think about needing to come back out there. Broke Gorilla is out at the moment. He's half a second down. What's Double doing at the moment? So Double needs to double down here and and try and get into Q2. At the moment, he has a golden opportunity. He just needs to find he has to find a second by the looks. Coming into the final sector now. Of course, we Double missed the race last week, but we're glad to see him back tonight, and hopefully all is well with Double in car 99. Of course, and he's coming into the pits now, so he's coming to the pits, change his tyres, and he's going to have another crack. Of course, this pit lane is very precarious. To be honest, I never really thought of how precarious this pit lane was until I've seen a couple of races here recently. Yeah, if you go wide, you will go into that barrier, and that barrier is quite can be quite deadly. On board, we're just watching Roscoe now in the McLaren. So who else is out there at the moment? We've got Devan, who's just coming in the pit. So he's basically got a clean track out there, Roscoe has, and the track will rubber in. So the later you go out, the track will have more grip. So it won't be effectively a green track as such. And now coming into the second sector here, look how twisty it is. This is definitely like a go-kart track in a way, isn't it? There's a lot of turns. Unfortunately, these cars are quite wide, so it's you ain't going to see as much overtaking as you do in go-karting. Coming through into, see, look, braking well after the 50-meter board. That's how powerful these brakes are on F1 cars. Amazing stuff. Of course, they brake by wire these days. Now coming into the final corner. It's a very frustrating final corner. You see he's now on the power. DRS is enabled. He is turning yours not up fully. He's only in the overtake at the moment, coming down into turn 1. See that, and then of course as we said, turn 1 has been reprofiled, and then this is the second DRS now coming out and down into turn 2. To be honest, I'm not sure, did they classify that? Well, I'm calling it turn 2, and now coming into turn 3. You can see the sun is out now nicely. This to be honest, this track can throw up some interesting weather, but I think I haven't been told anything about the weather, but I think that, well, we've got definitely a dry qualifying session, even if it is looking a bit menacing in a couple of the in the sky in a couple of areas. Roscoe now coming through the tight chicane, now into the very busy sector 2 here. He didn't take too much of the curve there. Doubles back out then, so we've got 4 minutes to go. Who's going to be knocked out? Sven is on the bubble. He can't improve, unfortunately, because Sven retired just out of turn 3. Broke is still out there at the moment as well. Snap has retired from this session. I'm hoping that he's just retired and not actually binned it. I don't think he has just retired. Coming around the final corner now. So this has been a tidy lap from Roscoe. And what's he going to pull him in? That's a very good lap from Roscoe, right up there. Look how close he is. He's 800ths of a second behind Prize Kumquat. And that's a great time now from Roscoe. Lovely stuff. So Broke is now in the drop zone. So is Broke going to come out? We've got 3 minutes to go. This is quite a relatively short track. Asdog is still in the pit, so I think as Kogut joins again, hopefully Kogut will be able to stay in the session now. We're on board with Double. Can Double get through into Q2? So at the moment we're going to lose. Well, we potentially could lose 3 drivers here, as Sven is out anyway. So because the car is out and caused terminal damage, he will not be able to take part in Q2. So that's it for Sven. So yeah, I think 15th was the best he can hope for. But can Broke, who's 4 tenths behind, can Double get increased? So Double has done a very good wow, it was 7 tenths up the corner to the graphic in the right hand corner, coming down to turn 1 now. Double is so not hugging the inside there. Of course, you've got multiple racing lines on some of these corners, so not really troubling the entry there. Now coming out of the fast turn 3. Now coming up to turn 4. I think he just kept it on the black stuff there. Now out to turn 5 into turn 6 and 7, and the Mickey Mouse chicane here. I think this is a very annoying chicane, because if you cut it too much, you get launched in the air, because they've got sleeping policemen on the entry there, so you can't, because it's a very high curve. And now coming in, look at this, and see, look how busy it is. So this track is very hard on you mentally, going very wide there. Of course, that turn will also bite you if you go too wide because of invalidated laps. Now coming into the final couple of corners now, Double takes a wider line, but then he hugs the inside towards the apex of the turn. Now into the final corner now, as again he's taking a wider line and then starting to hug the apex as he comes across the line. DRS is available. What's he doing? He's done a 17. He's done a 17.9, and that's a great time for Double. He's well in the drop zone. So Asdog is at the moment on the cusp. So Asdog is now in trouble, as is Devan, but Devan is in the pit. So we're going to be looking at Broke, Gorilla, and Asdog. So Broke Gorilla, we're just joining him now as he is coming into the chicane. And you can see a lot of steering wheel input there from Broke. Of course, remember this is his debut tonight, as I think it's also the day before Devan as well. Oh, taking a lot of grass there as well. He's got 48 seconds, so if he wants to have another go, he can. I'm not sure if Double's having another go. I haven't really, but I think he'd be happy in a 12th position. So good time there from Double, and only 2 tenths away from his teammate as well. Broke coming into the final couple of corners now. Let's see what's he done. He got a yellow flag, and that's Asdog. Oh no, Asdog has lost his front wing. That's it. He's going to be out of qualifying, I think, because he ain't got no time left. What about Broke? Broke is also out as well. Unfortunately, well, he can have another go, but Asdog, that is a big shame. So Asdog is out of qualifying. So is Broke Gorilla going to go for a second run here? And what was Double doing? Double is just coming into the pits now. So it's all on Broke. It's, now the qualifying's over. Asdog is out. Sven is also out as well, even though Sven did qualify at 15. Massive mistake there from Asdog. Unfortunately for he's been caught up in a lot of incidents in this season, but unfortunately, whoa, and Broke almost going to the place where Asdog visited earlier. Unfortunately, because he's taking a lot of inside curve that Broke is. Now coming out into to the medium, you can see, look at the back end, trying to step out, and Broke there is coming through. Now this is coming towards the end of sector 2. What's he doing? What's he doing in terms of time? He is 6/10 down. I don't think this is going to be enough, unfortunately. He needs to gain at least 4:10. So coming around the final couple of corners now, and Broke might be last, unfortunately, in his debut. And he has he has come into the pits now. Remember, this is a very a deadly pit lane, especially that green barrier. So Broke in the pit. So unfortunately, Broke is out qualifying, as is Asdog. That is a big shock to see Asdog out qualifying this early on. But from our point of view, we're going to see Asdog come flying through the field. So yeah, from a salvage point of view, that's that's good for us. But unfortunately for Asdog, that is a massive blow. So out qualifying is Broke, Asdog, and Sven. So yeah, that's the end of Q1 then. So we've decided the back 3 places on the grid. So 15th, 16th, 17th. Next, we're going to decide 10th through 14th. And of course the top 10 will have to start on the tires they set their quickest time on. And I'll get XP for basically doing nothing, sitting here and just talking rubbish. I love it. And you can see then, so in Q1 then, look at that, 85 hundredths of a second between Blaz and the Price. This is going to be very juicy towards then. Remember, this is just like a warm up. But out of qualifying is Broke. But look at that, it's only 2.1 seconds the gap between the fastest and the slowest. So that is amazing how bunched up it is. Remember back in like the days before the 107% rule, it used to be like 10 odd seconds between first and last. Unfortunately, Broke is out, Asdog is out, and I think Sven is out as well after causing terminal damages to his Aston Martin Red Bull Racing. So now going into Q2. Now this is where everything starts to heat up, and this is where we're going to see the wick turned up slightly more. So in this session, this is all about choosing a tire. This is where the strategy begins for the race. This is what I did on my phone next to me, you see. I just see what was going on in the chat, if there was anything interesting going on. And as you can see then, we got a Ferrari looking interested, but it looks well. I can see a mechanic, I see movement in the Ferrari pit, so there's only one Ferrari in here tonight, and that is Hunter. And he screams out of the pit lane now, as does the Force India. We got both Force Indias out there, so they're coming out quite early on. What they're all on these. Well, at the moment we got Physico on the soft. So Prize is on the ultra soft, but this is a tactic that Prize we've noticed. As you can see, I do pay attention most of the time. Prize does come out on the ultra soft tires, see how fast he can go, and then abandons the lap towards the end, and then goes for another lap on one of the harder tires, either the soft or the medium. Now comes Murphy. Murphy's also on the ultra soft as well. So is he doing the same strategy as Prize here? But remember, the ultra softs only last 4 laps last night, so I'm not sure if it's a viable strategy, because unfortunately FAR pole sitter didn't unfortunately drop back because his strategy, he was compromised on the ultra soft tires. Excuse me. Snap out there on the soft tire. Hunter is on the ultra softs as well, and on the medium tires is Rockatoni. We've got a great selection of strategies out there, brilliant stuff. And Blas is on the soft tire as well. I think Blas might be the first one to come through. I hope anyway. So Blas now coming through then, he's got DRS enabled then, so comes down into turn 1. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Almost going onto the grass there, Blas. It's struggling to keep it in a straight line going down the straight there. Turn 2 there, you can see you heard the beep there. That means that the DRS is enabled. So the driver gets that beep, and then you press whatever button your DRS is. Mine's defaulted really, because that's how I like it. Touching a bit of the grass there, coming into turn 4 now. A lot of commitment you need at the turn 4. He's gone wide. Is that going to invalidate his time? He's gone wide. Unfortunately, if he hasn't invalidated his time, he's kind of called it quits coming into turn 5. Shame for Blas. But remember, these tyres, you'll have to start the race on these tyres, so you don't want to take any more. Hunter's gone wide into turn 5 as well. Murphy starting his lap, coming down the hill, so has Prize. And Not That Bad is in that. It's also on the medium tyres as well. So we're just watching Blas. I think the Blas is having a bit of a scrappy first lap. Also car 99, along with double, so we've got 2 99 cars in this race. I think Blas will probably be going for a second run here. You got a yellow flag in sector 2. That's not looking too promising, but luckily everyone is pointing in the right direction, more or less. Blas comes across the line, does a 120, so now he's going to go for it good and proper. So I'm just having a look to see where Hunter is. Hunter also comes across the line, but unfortunately doesn't do a time. Murphy also on the lap, but Prize has come back in the pit, so we're on to Prize now. Oh, that just shows that I look quite smart now, so I'm very smug. As Not That Bad though goes up into first position. He's the only man set a time at the moment, and he does a 1:19.1 on medium tyres. I would say that's a pretty decent lap from Not That Bad. You could even say that's not that bad, as he's coming now down to turn 2, so good time there from Not That Bad. Here comes Devan in the Red Bull. I'm sure Murphy was Murphy's in the pit as well. So yeah, they're just getting, I think they're just getting a sighter in, isn't they? That was very bad oversteer from Devan there, wasn't it? He had to take 2 bites of the cherry in coming out of turn 14. Now into the final corner now, as you can see, there it is, the beep again coming out of it, and Devan goes second fast at the moment. He is a second and a half ish behind Not That Bad, and they're on different compounds. We've got both McLarens coming out line of turn. I don't think they will want to get a tow around here. And now we're on board with Hunter. We can see, look at that DRS and the letterbox opening. Blas is retired from the session. Hunter, and I think he's up with that time. Hunter goes at second fastest, and he's on the ultra soft tyre. So he's doing something slightly different, Hunter is. So this is looking good. Rocket Tony has just gone up to second in the Force India. He's on the medium tyres as well. So remember, the medium tyres will last the longest out of all 3 compounds. But of course, you'll be compromised coming off the coming out of the grid box. Snap coming across the line now is double getting very slow there, but luckily I think he's just getting out of someone's way, and Snap goes 5th fastest, so good time there for Snap. And look at that, a second in front of Devan. I think Devan might have to have another crack at this. So good time there from Snap. And Devan is 3/10 slower at the moment. As you can see, look at that, he's struggling. There's a lot of understeer into those final couple of corners. So we also seen someone else having the same problem. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3 on board with Physico, number 21. He's got the same number as me, what a legend. And he's now coming around to start his lap. So this is just his out lap at the moment, just preparing the tyres. Of course, these guys are basically like heat engineers, aren't they, in the warm-up lap in the warm-up lap, the formation lap of the race, and also on your preparation lap as well. Rocket Tony, he's done a lap in the 18.3. Is he going to come into the pits? He is coming into the pits. Hunter's already in the pits. Not That Bad is also coming in. What about Snap? Is I think he might be coming in the pits as well. So I'm just trying to find a guy that's actually on their fast lap. Roscoe's on his fast lap at the moment, so I think we're going to stay with Roscoe at the moment in the McLaren. It's looking very leisurely. That's looking very leisurely from Roscoe. I wonder if he's made a mistake, which is a bit unfortunate. But we're now on board with Double featuring quite heavily in the first part of qualifying here. He's on the ultra soft tire, so there's no strategy for he's just going flat out for double here, isn't it? He wants to get as high up the grid as possible, and because this man is very consistent, isn't he? Double is he's usually there or thereabouts in the points, so he's not he doesn't get many penalties either, does he? And he doesn't get involved in accidents much. So, and of course, I think he won an award, didn't he? As he was one of the contenders for an award at the end of the season. He's got a yellow flag inside the free there. We've got a McLaren of, I think that's Roscoe, who is just starting his lap now. So here comes Double coming into the final section. And look at that, again, 2 bites of cherry here. I'm not sure if the track has got worse or if there's lack of grip out there. Double is invalidated this time, so he's going to have another go. Now we've got Steve out, Kingsburg out, Murphy out. When I say out, they're out of the pits on track, they're not out. As Roscoe is on board, we're on board with Roscoe. Now we've got a lot of traffic for Roscoe in the number 4 McLaren. Of course, the same number that Max Chilton chose in his Marussia, as you can see, and that's Roscoe's teammate Steve getting out of the way. Now coming into the very long turn 5. I'm not sure it's Dan. No, and Roscoe goes off there. I wonder if Dan Murphy. I was going to say, is Dan Murphy causing problems there for Roscoe? But this is not looking good for Roscoe at the moment. So I'm not sure if that's frustration or if he just, putting the other drivers off by removing the marker boards. Which, to be honest, some of the drivers do actually look out for the marker boards, and I think that Murphy might have been on a lap there, so he was more than entitled to. He's more entitled to staying on the racing line, because this is qualifying, you can't really get out of people's way. Double now coming through the final couple of corners now. Look at the back end trying to step out again in the Alfa Romeo Sauber. Of course, they're going to be Alfa Romeo next season onwards. Of course, the new Formula 1 game is out in June time. DRS enabled for Double as he comes across the line, and he goes 6 fastest. A good time there from Double, up into 6th position. Roscoe coming in the pit, whereas Murphy's just gone 8th at the moment. I think he'll like another go at the another go, as Prize is now out on the soft tyre, so that's a bit more like it from Prize. On board Kingsburg in the second sector with the one problem Montoya inspired helmet. To be honest, a lot of people probably don't even, it's probably nothing like it, is it? But it just reminds me of Montoya's helmet for some reason, the yellow, blue and red, as he now comes through the final couple of corners. Of course, he's in the Williams as well, of course, where Montoya first started his F1 career back in 2001. Oh, those were the days. Now comes around the final corner. Of course, then what does Kingsburg do? He goes up to second, decent time, very good time from Kingsburg. Very good time as well. Penny goes up into, look how close the Sauber boys are. 4 thousandths of a second between them. Of course, they're on different compounds, different strategies. So obviously Fred Vasseur likes the splitter strategy, and why not? Why not indeed? Of course, of course Penny might be going for a long game, whilst Double is going for the sprint to begin with to get his nose in there, and Prize goes up into second position as well, and Murphy though right behind him goes up in the pole position on a 115. That'll be impressive. A 117.5 from Murphy. Good time there from the number 26 Mercedes. Double's in the pits now, so he's out of snaps in Q3 at the moment, as is Steve. A bit of formation flying here between Prize and Murphy at the moment. So they're third and fourth at the moment. There's a McLaren. This is flying behind them. I hope they got their mini map on. They do. So here comes Steve now. So he's in the McLaren. He's in 8th position already. So at the moment, out of the drop zone, we have Double, Physico, Devan, and whoa, look at that. And Roscoe at the moment. Roscoe is probably just collecting his thoughts and going to go out again in a minute. So we expect Roscoe to be out there. But yeah, he's had a couple of laps where he's tried, and I'm not sure if he's just decided to call it quits because he didn't feel the cars right, or if he come across any traffic. Now Steve coming into the final sector. See, that's what I like about these old tracks. It's an undulating track, isn't it? It brings a bit of character as well to when the tracks go up and down. And as Steve comes across the line, and he goes 5th fastest, so good time. Now Snap is out. I'm hoping that I hope he hasn't destroyed his car, because there's yellow flags Oh no, it's the same place as where Sven's gone off. Looks like that there's turn 4, sorry, turn 3, where you get on the exit curb and it just spits you on the inside there. That is a shame for Snap. It really is, because he is in the fight today, isn't he? Look at that. He is up. He is in 10th position. Well, he was hard in 10th, but he's dropped down to 10th. But Snap was right in there. As we watch from Moscow now, who's just on his outlap. We got Devan, who I think is on a flyer here. So we're going to stick with Devan at the moment. The only Red Bull driver left. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. And that's a McLaren as Steve getting out of the way. So well done, Steve there. Well, you can see that's too much curve. You see, if you take too much curve, you'll just be a spitter on the outside and then you just lose all the momentum. And I'm wondering if Devan is just easing off the throttle here. So Roscoe is now going to start his time. Physico is also going to start his time. Double is in the pit, so he's only got 2 minutes to get out there. I think it's going to be touch and go. So Roscoe now starting his lap then. So this is well, if he does has troubles, he does have one more go. He does have one more bite of the cherry, but he's on the ultra soft tire. So this is not what Roscoe had in mind. But then again, he might be trying a different strategy as well, because as much as what the elite guys did last night, it's quite hard to do a one stopper around some tracks. I have found out to my cost. I realise I'm not as good as I thought I was, because you need to keep up the pace on one stopper as well. As even though the strategy may say, oh, it's about a couple of seconds quicker, if you can't keep up the pace, then keep the tires in the window, then there's no point really, is there? So I've kind of given up the one stoppers. To be honest, I've kind of hung my wheel up anyway, and I think I'm much better on the mic, to be fair, because I think in this qualifying session I probably would be out anyway. And Roscoe now coming down into the final few corners. What does he do then? You can see he's gone very wide there into the second to last corner. He's got a second left. We've got Kingsburg out. Don't think. And what does Roscoe do? He's on a 16. He's gone fastest on a 1:16.5. That's a mega time for Roscoe. It's almost a second quicker. We've got yellow flags all over the place at the moment. So Roscoe retires from the session. Devan is a second up. He's a second up. And what about Physico? Physico coming across the seconds at the last corner now, and he's gone very wide. And what does Physico do? Well, I'm getting excited for nothing really. He's not even on a lap. Now Physico will be on a lap. On board then with Devan, and he comes across the line and he goes 7th. Great time there from Devan. He's on the ultra soft tyres though, but it don't matter. Variety is a spice of life, and to be honest, that could be the right strategy on. You never know. Rocket Tony is out there as well on the soft tyres. We've only got 13 seconds remain. Rocket Tony is in the drop, is looking a bit dangerous out there at the moment in terms of what we're dropping out. We got Double who's in the pit, so Double has decided that he doesn't want to go back out there. On board Physico now, he is 10th down in the first sector. He can make it up in the second sector, running a bit wide out of the second sector. See, he's almost lost the ERS there. I think that this might. I think Physico might have had his day. Unfortunately, he's gone very wide there. He's a second off, so that's a shame for Physico. So I think he'll be starting 14th, which is a big shame for him. On board with Steve Penny now. Of course, Steve Penny, the host today, a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Of course, but of course he is. I tell you what, Steve Penny, in my opinion, is which was my opinion don't matter much, but in my humble opinion, I do think that Steve Penny has done a cracking job, because the steering wheel is very hard to master in my opinion. That's why I've always stuck to the pad really, because I really struggle to get into the steering wheel, but it's not something that you can take lightly. I think Penny's doing a great job. So singing his praises for Steve Penny. Comes across the line and he goes 4th fastest. Look at that! Once again, he's right in the top 10. Brilliant stuff. Physico is finished. So is Double. So I think then. So that's it then for these guys. And let's just make sure that. So the best lap then. So we got Roscoe who's on the ultra soft tyres for Rocket Tony. We got Murphy on the soft, Steve Penny right up there on this ultra soft. Then we got Blas 5th soft, 6th is Hunter who's also on the soft. As we're on board Rocket Tony who was second in the end. So good job from the Irishman. Of course, his team is in the constructors at the moment. Had a difficult race last night. Rocket Tony did, but I think he's hoping for better tonight. As we're now just loading in, and let's just take a quick look then. So in the out unfortunately was physical. You can tell that he only had a run on the medium tyre there, so he probably could have gone a lot quicker. Double there is in 30th, 12th position for Snap. That's unfortunate for Snap. Maybe he would have got into Q3 because another man is really starting to get the hammer down in the 12th position. Kingsburg just outside of the top 10 in 11th position. That is not a bad place to start. The van in 10th position on the ultra softs. Then we got Stio, not that bad, and so on. We'll go through the grid in a bit more detail. Lap. No, there ain't no warm-up lap anymore, is there? Oh dear. Well, we'll do it at the end of qualifying. Now this is Q3, and as I say every week, this is the best part of qualifying in terms of the best part if you like a car to go very quick, because this is the fastest these guys are going to be all night. So in Q3 we do have Roscoe, we have Devan, we have Prize, we have Steve, Murphy, Penny, Hunter, Rocket Tony, Blaz, and Not That Bad. So who's going to be the first one to blink? And I think it's a Mercedes down there. Of course, the sole remaining Mercedes of Murphy at the moment, but he ain't the first one to blink. It's another cars out there, and also a Force India has come out as well. I think is that a Sauber I see in the distance there going out. So there's Prize now coming out of the pits in the Force India. Right behind him is Murphy. Of course, these two were on a formation flying lap earlier, weren't they? So there's just making sure the DRS is working, and just weaving. So just on a quick look to see who's on the who's out there first. I'm sure I said a Sauber out there, but I was actually just imagining it. Maybe I need to go to Specsavers. As Prize is on an out lap then, so he's right out there straight away. The number 23 Force India. The van also out there as well, making his debut. So in the top 10 there, I think he's making his debut. But it's been a good stuff from the van. We're watching Roscoe there. A bit of squeaky bum time towards them that Q2 session, but he's in Q3. And remember, to be honest, the midfield, which is to be honest where I normally start, is a very dangerous place to start. That's where all the action is, and that's where you can lose your front wing. Because remember, these front wings, as much as strong as they are, as Lewis Hamilton demonstrated a couple of years ago by standing on his front wing, these front wings are very flimsy when they when you touch the back of someone's car. We're on board Roscoe now in the McLaren, coming through the final couple of corners now, so he's going to start his laps. And here he comes. Remember, I think apart from Monaco, this is probably one of the tracks where you really want to get on pole position. I think though, this ain't the highest. I think one of the most amazing stats I ever heard is, I'm probably wrong here, but with Spain, I think, where Spain had the highest percentage of pole wins from pole position, which I can kind of see it, because again, it's quite a difficult track to overtake Spain, but with that long back straight, yeah, I was quite surprised. It's always had a higher percentage of win in Monaco. Excuse me again, blimey. I think I got a bit of a cold coming. I might have to have a sickie tomorrow. As no one heard that. Roscoe then coming through the chicane now and into the second sector. Of course, big news today is all you Formula 1 fans out there, which I hope you're all fans, or if you just like gaming in general and you're just joining us today, Blaz I've missed Blaz, so he's gone for a 116 at the moment. Then we've got Rocket Tony, who's done a 116 too. So good time so far. Rocket Tony just pipping Blaz to the punch there. I'm sure he's seen someone else there, and he's got a yellow flag in 2 and 3. Coming through the final corner now is Roscoe. DRS enabled. What does he do, Roscoe? He's only 4th at the moment. We got a Mercedes of Murphy comes across the line. He goes a 15. That's a great time for Murphy. Wow, that's a statement of intent, isn't it? Murphy is really really wants to he's trying to spoil the party here tonight. Is it great stuff from Murphy? What about the van then coming across the line? Looks like he's had a bit of a scrappy lap here, so he's gonna have to go again. Got a yellow flag in sector 1. Steve comes across the line, and what's he going to do? DRS enabled, comes across the line, and he's done a 17 now for Steve, so he'll probably like to go again. Both from McLaren's are 5th and 6th at the moment. Prize is just starting his lap. See Penny in the pits, not that bad. It is on an out lap at the moment. So whilst it's all settling down, I think that's another corner cut, to be honest, from the van. Yeah, whilst it's all settling down for a time. Yeah, big news today is about the Interlagos track in Sao Paulo might be hosting its final ever race this year. What do you guys think of that? To be honest, I'm not sure. I really like Sao Paulo, but I also do get quite excited when there's a new track on the calendar as well. And to be honest, I'm really seeing the graphics, so I don't really know if it's any good or not. Rio de Janeiro, because I think Rio did host Grand Prix in the late 70s and most of the 80s, I believe, before everyone went to Sao Paulo. So yeah, I'm not sure about that, because I must admit I think Brazil is one of the highlights of the season for me. I love the track. There's Prize there getting a bit greedy on the throttle there as he comes out of the middle sector there. I must admit my corner numbers are not very good around here. We are in Spa in a week's time. That's when I'll start to really show off my corner names. I love that track. It's my favourite on the calendar. It is, and in comes the Prize. So doing his normal thing. A bit of gamesmanship here from the Peru driver. It's not that bad. That is now in the second sector in the Renault. And now coming into the final sector, we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. And not that bad then, just hugging the final couple of corners as we're away. Yeah, of course, the other big news was that the Dutch Grand Prix might be making a return at Zandvoort, so that'd be good to see as well. Barcelona, I must admit, has not been one of my favourite tracks on the calendar, but I'll be sad to see it go, really, because it's been on the calendar ever since 1991, so it's another one of those classic tracks where you don't really want to see go. What's the Van doing? He's 3/10 down now, but he's lost his front wing, the Van has, and that's unfortunate, so he's going to have to come in the pits. He's still got 5 minutes to go, so Red Bull will turn that car around quite quickly and he'll get back out there. But a couple of scrappy laps for the Van, and then unfortunately lost his front wing, but don't worry, we've still got 5 minutes to go, so that's more than enough time. Who's out there at the moment? So Roscoe's out there on 3-lap old Ultrasoft tyres. I think that might be because he's I know, not that bad, it's actually going quicker in the Renault. Roscoe, I think he was alright there. I'm not sure if he went wide, but not that bad then coming out of oh, and that's right. I thought we had a yellow flag there. You see, I went very quiet there because I was trying to concentrate. Roscoe there, turn 5, I believe that is. So that's hurt Roscoe, yeah, because I think Roscoe has got has only got a set of Ultrasofts left. Coming through the final corner now. So what is not that bad going to do? Is he in the 15s? No, he's in the 16s. He's gone quicker by a tenth of a second, but he's still 6th at the moment. So he has time for one more run. Is he going to come in the pits, come back out, fit a new set of Ultrasofts? Has he got a new set of Ultrasofts? Remember, in Q3 you do get a free set of tyres. And at the moment the track is quite quiet, apart from Price has now decided to make an appearance and hopefully make a proper appearance now. He's out with 4 minutes to go, so he's given himself enough time if he does make a mistake on his first lap. Now as you see there, just getting himself prepared, getting himself ready to go. And here he comes around the final corner now. DRS is open. And here we go then. So we're going to stay on board now with a lap with a Prize. So enjoy this lap, because as you, well, just coming out of the pit that's very good from Hunter getting right out of the way there. And yeah, so yeah, Prize, enjoy this lap. Next we're on turn 2 now. I call it turn 2 anyway. You can see didn't hug the beginning of the corner, but definitely started to hug the apex there. Turn 3, just a sweep in right-hander there. Turn 4, brilliant corner. Does he go out too wide? No, he stays on the track beautifully. Turn 5 then again, not hugging the curve too much there and taking just enough exit curve. Beautifully done. Turn 6 and 7 chicane. He doesn't hit those steam policemen, but he did hit turn 7, which knocked him slightly wide. Turn 8 and 9 here. You can see he's gone a bit wide there. He's compromised himself, and that might have cost him a few tenths of a second into turn 11 now, I think it is. As you can see now, coming down into the newer part of the... Look at that. I think that was the 50-meter braking board marker there, and I think he braked just after that. That's amazing. Now you see then into the second to last corner. Decent job there. Kept the car straight, got the car straightened quite nicely as well. Into the final turn now. DRS is open. He comes across the line for Price, and what does he do? He does a 1:15.7. And what a time there from Price. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a great pull. That was a great lap to be riding on board there. So that was a privilege for us to to ride on board with him. As Price then got on pole position with 2 minutes to go. Is he going to have? He can have another crack at the cherry as well. So Murphy is going to respond now in the Mercedes. So he's out. Blas has just responded, only third at the moment for the championship leader. He does have time though. Can he go? He does have time. Has he? He might have to do a cooling off lap, which he's starting to do now. And then he's going to have another go. Hunter is also on the lap as well, but I think Murphy and Hunter are too close together there. That's going to cause them. That's going to cause a bit of problems. Devan is out there on the touch the outside. Oh, he's gone round. He's gone round. He's gone round. He's gone round. Oh, to be honest, I think he touched the barrier there. Luckily, the rear wings don't get damaged on this game. Otherwise, you might be, as you can see, there's Blas going through the sister Toro Rosso. So yeah, if this game was a bit more had a bit more damage on it, I think that rear wing might have had some, took a bit more of a bump there. Well, yellow flag in sector 2. So Blas is just starting this up. Murphy then coming around the final corner now. We've seen Murphy and Hunter was quite close, and the Prize has called it a day already. So as he felt, can he go any quicker? So I think Murphy there might now start his lap now. So I think he might have got compromised in the yellow flag zone. Now Blas is done. He's done a cooling off lap, and now this is his final chance as well. So Murphy and Blas are going to do one more lap. We've got a yellow flag on the start finish straight there. I can't see what it is, so hopefully it's nothing too major. Rocket Tony is slowing down, getting out of the way of the McLaren of Roscoe. Roscoe is, is that? I think that might be a penalty, a corner cut. It is a corner cut. Oh, I should have brought some water with me. I might have to. Don't worry, I do have a supply somewhere. As Steve now comes down into the final sector, he's 8th at the moment. He would like to improve. Devan is also out there. He's done 3 laps on those ultra soft tyres. Those ultra soft tyres are well past their best. What about Penny now? Penny comes across the line, and he's done 17. He's gone up to 8th position. Well, good job from Penny. Steve comes across the line. What does he do? He's up into 5th. Great stuff from Penny. Rocket Tony is 4th fastest at the moment. Good time from Rocket Tony. I think he's gonna have another crack, I hope. Well, I like to think so. Is that Murphy is 6/10 off still. So I think Murphy's only got 8 seconds to go. I don't think he's going to get across the line. No, he ain't. So that's it for Murphy. What a shame, man. So Murphy unfortunately doesn't improve. So that's a bit of a shame. What about Blas? Blas is 600. Hunter goes 3rd fastest. Good time there from Hunter. 2 tenths quicker. What about Blas coming across the line now? So Blas goes up into 3rd position there. So just displaces Hunter. Drop back down to 4th. Steve is on an in lap by the looks of them. Ross goes out, but not that bad. Goes 5th fastest in the Renault. Good time there from not that bad. He is on the 3rd row of the grid at the moment. Steve is just cruising in. Roscoe is out there still. He's gone wide. Hopefully that ain't going to cause him any mischief. And Devan, unfortunately, doesn't really get a competitive time out there, which is a shame. So we're just on board with Roscoe now. Roscoe is 5 tenths down as well. I'm wondering if this is it. I think it might be, unfortunately. So, but Prize said we rode on board with the pole lap, and Roscoe comes in. Yeah, we rode on board with the pole lap. It did look nice and tight, didn't it? From Prize, and a brilliant lap as well in the 1:15.7. But Murphy was quite close with a 1:15.8, and of course a 1:15.9 for Blas. So the front three are separated by just 3/10 of a second approximately. Hunter is in the 16s, as is not that bad. Look how close Hunter and not that bad was. 100th of a second, that's amazing. Rocket Tony 6th. Steve and Roscoe 7th and 8th. They're on the 4th row of the grid. Penny right up there in 9th, and Devan making his debut here in Hungary. A very difficult place to make your debut. Is 10th. He didn't get a competitive time, unfortunately. As Murphy's car just cruises across the line now. So I wonder if he's just doing it. Whoa! And Blas is oh dear, he's done the Perez. And wow, that's a noble way to finish qualifying now. But Blas does qualify third. Hopefully that doesn't happen to him in the race. So we're just waiting for the drivers to ready up and get going on this 35 lap race. It's a tough race, this is. So look at that, 77 hundredths of a second between pole and second position. This is going great, and Murphy's starting to come into some decent form as well. Blas, the championship leader, is third. I think he might be disappointed with that, but he's still in there, isn't he? Of course, he's only got a 16-point lead though, hasn't he? And at the moment, so he might be feeling a bit stressed at the moment. Fourth is Hunter. Then we've got not that bad fifth. Rocket Tony sixth. Steve and Roscoe 7th and 8th, and the old McLaren at 4th row. Penny 9th, and Devan in 10th position. So we're going to get into the race now, as we got a couple of comments which I was about to have a look at. And oh, thanks guys. Yeah, cracking job on commentary. Well, I'm glad you can understand me. Right, here we go then for the race now. So as you can see now, these guys, as we got Kogut in the lobby, so we do have 18 drivers on the grid then. So this is going to be chaos. As long as we don't have a repeat to the start of 2005. I think one of the Red Bulls, I think it was, that they kind of flipped at the start. I think it was Christian Klingen, wasn't it, or something like that. That was also a good race as well, 2005. That was a stranger performance, wasn't it, really, 2005, at the American Grand Prix, where only 6 cars started. I think that was the year where he wasn't allowed to change tyres as well. So it was a good idea. I must admit, I do enjoy the 2005 season. It's one of my more favourite seasons. It was interesting, and of course then. So here we go then, 5 sets of lights are on, and then when they go out, we'll be racing in Hungary. We are racing in Hungary. They go now, and there's a lot of wheel spin from Murphy there, and there's a car already off the track. That's a Williams off, and you can see then it's getting very busy. Price has had a good start there, but you can see Hunter has made a couple of positions, but there's a force in, you dive, and now we lost the front wing. That's a Ferrari that's lost the front wing, and I think that's Hunter's lost the front wing. That's a big shame. We've got a lot of so Price. Oh, and Rocket Tony has just thrown into the side of Murphy. That is awful. Oh gosh, this is terrible. Absolutely, that's an appalling start. Rocket Tony, I'm not sure what was going on there. Did he just get a bit frustrated? And Price is in first position. Second position is Blas. Devan, brilliant start up into third position. 5 seconds to go for Blas. Blas is for Northern Yellow flags there, so that's going to hurt Blas coming into the later on. So it's Devan, a great start there. We've got not that bad fourth. Hunter is down to 5th as then play. 6th position is Steve. 7th position is Brooke Grilla. Brilliant. Brooke Grilla, 10 places. We've got Sven in 8th position, double 9th. 10th is Steve Penny. I thought he was Joe, this is the back of his teammate there. Fizzy in 11th. Roscoe down to 12th. Asdog in 13th. Asdog is let in. I think he's got a problem, Asdog. I reckon it looks like there's a problem with his car, isn't there? As we're watching Kogut, who's got a deep sport set with Rocket Tony right at the back there. So lap 1 completed. Whoa, and in the pits. That was I'm not sure what was going on with Rocket Tony there, and as Murphy has left the session already. That is a shameful Murphy. I was looking for between Murphy and Blas, and we got a yellow flag in sector 3. Asdog is struggling for some reason. I don't know what's going on with Asdog, but he is very slow coming out the final corner, and Rocket Tony's out of the race. So Rocket Tony having a poor luck here in Hungary, as Asdog is I think getting back up there now. Hunter is coming out. The car number 88 is now out in he's on the soft tyre, and also Roscoe in the pits and Kogut also in the pits as well. But the moment Kumquat leads. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. We looks like, I'm not sure what was going on there, but we've got both the Saubers having a fight now. Penny's now up. We've got Steve with Devan is gone off the track there, and he's down to 7th. Sven, his teammate, just gets in front of him there. So Devan recovers. Got another yellow flag in sector 1. And who is it? We didn't quite tell, so coming through the complete lap 2 then. So we got Prize who leads at the moment. Let me just change the telemetry now so we can see what's going on with the tyres. We've lost 2 drivers already, Murphy and Rockatoni, that have come to blows, and I have a feeling that we might be seeing those guys in the steward's office fairly soon. Blaz is now matching Kumquat. DRS is enabled. Steve is now having a look. It's not that bad going. He's not really fighting too much. Broke up in the 5th. 6th position is Sven. Devan is 7th. He had a great start, Devan. 8th is Steve Penny. 9th is Double, right up there. He's on the soft tire. 10th is Physico. Then we've got Kingsburg, Snap, Asdog, who's gained some pace. I'm not sure what's going on with Asdog. And Hunter then in 13th position, challenging Asdog. Roscoe in 14th and Koga in Roscoe 15th, Koga in 16th, and he's in the 2nd Mercedes then. Car number 22. Sven and and Griller. Oh, I thought I need contact. There's contact between himself and Devan. And what about Steve Penny? He just holds fire. Whoa, Devan going in very deep there, and that's gonna. Oh, he's gone round. No, he hasn't. Great car control there from Devan there. And this is getting a bit chaotic in the midfield here. Devan there just he's damaged his front wing quite badly there as well. On himself and broke Gorilla there. And he's going to have to go in the pits, I think, because there's no way you can survive a broken wing around this Hungarian Grand Prix. The Physico is behind Doubled at the moment. The Broke is all over the back of Sven at the moment. And Steve, who's had a great start as well in the McLaren, he's right up behind, not that bad at the moment. DRS is enabled. He's used a lot of errors already. As they come around to complete lap 3 now, and Steve is just on the back there. So what's Broke going to do? Broke coming on the outside. Steve is just still on the inside. Because Broke doesn't he do the switch back here? He does do the switch back here, but Sven there defending really well. Sven right up there at the moment. Great start from Sven. He's having a look, but Sven there just keeps his cool. Penny in 7th, Double is 8th, 9th, and all over the back of him is Physico in the Williams. 10th position is Devan. He hasn't come in the pits. 11th is Kingsburg. Snap is in 12th, chasing down Kingsburg. Hunter 13th. Asdog, I'm not sure if there's a problem with Asdog. He's really struggling out there down in 14th. Roscoe 15th and Koga in 16th. That's the order on that lap 4. Steve is on board with Steve now in the McLaren. And we're just going to go back to this battle here. As you can see, we're going to have a great midfield battle, aren't we, here today? And we're going to have a great duel up here front as well. Blaz and Kumquat. It's just separated by 1.6 seconds at the moment. Of course, this is what we want to see. We want to see the battle for the championship right up at the front. And we are, but of course, we also like to see these battles in the midfield as well. Very fiercely contested battles as well. As you can see, Sven doing a good job in 5th position, and so is the debutant Broke, who's doing a great job as well. Devan had a great qualifying session, but unfortunately he's kind of got caught up into some mischief. Sven again on the power a bit too early there, but Steve is again just holding fire. They're both on the soft tires. Broke Gorilla feels like he needs to get the job done, goes on the outside. Sven just parks on the inside there. He's going to stay on the outside. He's going to stay on the outside, and he will have a and he's just cut back in now. So Sven, he's going to have a look. And Sven, I think the broker just keeping the car now, but he's on the ultra soft tires. Penny's also on the ultra soft tires as well. And I'm not sure if it was that damage on the Williams in the Sauber there. I hope not. As also Snap is still over the back of Kingsburg there. There they are as well. Look, Snap having a great job at the moment in 12th position, of course, on medium tires. There's on board Physico now, who's still on the back of Double at the moment. But that is they've got closer and closer, haven't they? The guys battling for 5th and 6th. And we're just coming on Steve as well, who's in 4th and not bad in 3rd. And Gorilla's off the track. Gorilla's gone off the track here. I think he just got a bit on the power bit too. Remember, these ultra soft tires didn't last very long at all in the race yesterday. And whoa, and Steve has gone way off the track in a doubles through. And I've wondered if these ultra soft tires have called it a day here already. And is Broke Gorilla going to come in the pits? No, he's staying out. So he's just going to stay out. But Steve is coming in the pits. There's these ultra soft tires don't last very long at all. Into the pits then comes Steve from 9th position at the moment. Also in is Devan as well. Devan's going to have to change his front wing. So they slow right down to 50 kilometers an hour. As whoa, and look at that. That's a lunge and a half there from Physico. He is through, but what about Steve? But Double's not having any of that as he's back on the inside. Brilliant stuff from Double. There's a great lunge there from Physico. As I've not, we just almost missed that as Asdog is now for 12th, Roscoe 13th, Penny has dropped down to 14th, and Physico is 2 tenths behind Double at the moment. Cliff on the outside curve there. As you can see, Sven is now starting to pull away at the moment. He's a lovely helicopter shot there. As Asdog's got some kind of problem, I think, because he's really struggling for pace out there. We just keep seeing him drop down the order. Asdog is. So hopefully he hasn't. Hopefully he can just. Well, hopefully he can fix whatever the problem is in the pits. So we're watching Sven there, getting a lot of airtime. Sven is today. Good stuff. And also. Steve and not that bad, still quite close together. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1, and that's Kogut, who's just he's retired from the session. 2 races in a row that Kogut's out quite early on. Devan is out in 15th position, and we've got a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. I don't think there's any major stuff. And we've got another yellow flag in sector 2. Yellow flags here and ever. Look at that. And Roscoe going on the outside of Asdog. He's now going to have a look on the inside, of course. As Asdog, I think once again, has been caught up in some unfortunate incidents. Asdog has, which is a shame. And Roscoe now all over the back of Asdog as they come down into turn 1 up the inside. Then Roscoe breaking quite early there, and Asdog still showing a bit of fight there. Good stuff from Asdog. Hunter is. I thought he was all over the back of Snap. So Kingsburg 9th, 10th is Snap, 11th is Hunter. Hunter, of course, carving his way back through the field as now a double is being reeled in quite quickly now from... No, not double. Broke Grill is being reeled in quite quickly now from double in 7th position. Strong opening stint here from double. Nicely done. He avoided the... He's a survivor, isn't he, double? It's brilliant stuff. Up in 7th position at the moment. Broke Gorilla in his debut, he's doing a good job as well, and he's keeping those ultra softs there or thereabouts. We're back on board with Steve, who's going to have another go down to turn 1. Of course, the most realistic overtaking manoeuvre on this track is down to turn 1. He's a long way back from that point. You can see he's used a lot of errors already, Steve has. Is he going to have a lunge? No, not quite yet. So Steve just stays in for a position. Now Broke Gorilla's done 6 laps on these ultra soft tires. He's trying to get to a decent Hunter's already by Snap, so I wonder if Snap made a mistake there, but Hunter's back in the points as we're now just watching then the battle. This battle's going to now recommence then as Hunter's now going to be all over the back of Kingsburg in the battle for 9th. We're keeping an eye on all these battles out there, but Blaz is under a second now. So Blaz is under a second from between himself and Kumquat, of course the erotic fruit. I think some kind of a fruit anyway, and Broke Gorilla's gone very wide there. He's the only man on the ultra softs at the moment. He's doing a good job of keeping those ultra softs in play, but no, I thought the Broke Gorilla I thought the double went into the back of Broke Gorilla there. So good reactions there. But look at this now, we've got a bit of a train foreman. Physico is now all over the back, so and I think Hunter is already by Kingsburg, so Hunter is on a bit of a mission at the moment. Oh, and Broke Gorilla's gone off. He's going to come back on the track. He does. Physical has to take a base of action. So Broke Gorilla, I think those tyres have had enough. I think he might need to come into the pits as that, because look how he's struggling now quite badly. And Hunter is now all over the back of Broke Gorilla. And I think, this is getting a bit hairy as Broke Gorilla now goes wide and he's coming in the pits then. So yeah, I think Broke Gorilla's done well to last that long on those ultra soft tyres, but he's in the pits now. And the gap is coming down again then between Blaz. Now down to half a second as Snap is back up to 10th position. He's on the medium tyre, Snap is, so he's going for a long way in this race. So Roscoe is up into 11th now. So we're just having a look at Broke Gorilla. He's damaged his front wing now, because we've seen that earlier on in the race, number 22, but he will be out. He's going to be touching up between himself and the van there, but I think you can see the van in the background there. It's just coming out now. Broke Gorilla and the van, so 2 debutants there, 14th and 15th remote. They will come to play later on. They will come into play later on in this race. 8 tenths of a second in between Kumquat and Blaz. Hunter is up into 6th, 7th position, so we've seen a lot of overtaking. Well, we ain't seen a lot of overtaking moves, unfortunately, because he's doing it in some incredible places. Hunter is. We're going to keep an eye on Hunter now. We're on board with him now as he's just behind Double, who's made up a lot of positions in this open race. Look at that, Sven 5th, Double 6th. Brilliant driving from those guys. Hunter having a great comeback drive after losing the end plate on the opening, I think it was on the first corner. So, which is unfortunate. We're lap 10 out of 35. We've still got a long way to go in this race. This race is very hard mentally and physically. Double stays out because I think he's got to, if he wants to do a one stop, he has to get to at least lap 13, 14, 15, something like that. DRS is enabled now, so Hunter on board with now in the Ferrari. I'm gonna look at Double. Double goes on in the middle of the track, and Hunter goes up on the outside, and Double is down 7th. But that's, of course, that just shows the well, they ain't really newer tires, are they? I think the Hunter is just kind of let himself wild here. Not that bad. It's got a 3-second penalty. And but the battle between Otban and Steve looks like it's going to be a race-long battle. Same with Blaz and Kumquat. Looking forward to that. Sven's having a great job in 5th position. Double is 7th, Physico and Kingsburg 8th and 9th. Brilliant onboard shot here with Kingsburg and the Williams. So you can see the end plates there. A little bit of damage on those end plates, and that'll be it, unfortunately, as we've seen on a couple of these guys earlier on this race. So Hunter is just flying out there. Isn't he? I think that I wonder if the guys up front might be just a little bit concerned about Hunter's pace at the moment. I know who's going to be a little concerned about someone's pace, and that's Kumquat on Blaz now. So this is the battle for the lead then. DRS enabled for Blaz, and we're also going to keep an eye on the battle for the Blaz. No, Blaz is too far back, but now we're going to keep an eye on the battle for 3rd position. This is the battle for the final pole position. Steve is using a lot of ERS at the moment, isn't he? And you see, look how much ERS not that bad is using. So not that bad, it's just keeping it steady. And I think that he's doing a good job at the moment. Not that bad. So you can see Thomas is going up and down at the moment as they've rejoined the battle for lead. Steve Penny is all over the back of Asdog in the battle. It's a shame that Asdog is struggling, and now the battle's been equalled out between 3rd and 4th, Steve and not that bad, as they've both got penalties now. And Penny has a look, but I think I was too far back from Penny. You can see, of course, he's now on the soft tyre. We rejoin the battle for the lead then. Prize is Price struggling on the tyres, or is he? Remember, it's very hard to overtake around this circuit. Beautiful onboard camera here of Blaz. You can see, look at his gear shifts then, going up to 6. Now up into 7th gear. You can see that he gets on the rev limiter, the blue lights, and then he changes up again. He didn't even go to the rev limiter that time. So quite a short shift from 7th to 8th there. Coming down to turn 1. This is 4 tenths of a second the gap is, and there's less than 4 seconds, less than 4 tenths between these guys. And again, Steve is hitting the limit on the ERS there, isn't he? I wonder if he might need to back off and think about maybe saving some ERS. But then again, he's an intelligent driver. He knows a lot more about this stuff than I do. So yeah, so maybe he's just maybe just wants to keep up the pressure and see if he can get him to crack. Roscoe is in DRS zone. Snap now. Snap is going a very long way in this race because he's on the medium tyre. So Roscoe is now in DRS, and he is now homing in on Snap, and this is the battle for the final point at the moment. And Snap is too far back at the moment, but Snap gets out of the way, and Roscoe then moves up to 10th there. So I think that Snap is doing a very similar job like what Paul di Resta did when Paul di Resta first started his racing, because remember that Paul di Resta didn't really fight his battles too hard because he was all about tyre conserving, and he knew that his battles wasn't with some of the guys, like when the top guys come through. Paul di Resta, I think one time in Singapore, he didn't really make it too hard, did he, for when the Red Bulls come through, and that is very smart driving sometimes. So you got to pick your battles in this game. I wish I learned that a long time ago. As Hunter is now under 2 seconds behind Sven, so he is gone flying up to the back of Sven at the moment. So I've got to say a big shout out to Sven, doing a great job today, and he is flying the flag nice and high for Red Bull today. Well done to Sven, brilliant stuff. Devan might be up there later on in the race. He's going for more of a longer strategy here. You see going very wide there. Penny and Asdog is still battling over 12th and 13th, as Asdog is just really strong for pace. You can see that the gap between Blas and we got Kingsburg, as that's because I think Physico is in the pits for the Williams, and he's in the pits and he's changing on to the ultra soft tyres. Is it? No, it can't be, can it? It is. I think it is the ultra softs. He's lost his front wing somewhere, Physico has, so he's going on the ultra soft tyres, I think, according to the graphic, even though that looks like soft on the actual screen. Is it? No, it's the ultra soft. So Physico coming out of the pits now, so he is going to be well down the order, but he will be electric to begin with on these ultra soft tyres. These ultra soft tyres didn't last very long on the cars though, did they? They only lasted a couple of laps. We're watching Broke Gorilla in the Renault. He's going to the end of the race now. Prize is now starting to stretch his legs again over Blas. So the battle for first and second then is starting. It's just going to have a rest for now, and they're going to come back out as Hunter's all over the back of Sven now in the battle for fifth position. Sven is doing a great job at the moment. Roscoe is all over the back of Kingsburg as well. We got battles here and everywhere now. Hunter, the car 88 in the Ferrari, the Sven in the Red Bull. Roscoe is overtaken. That's a very unique place to overtake, isn't it? Great stuff. Of course, we did talk about it in the chat yesterday. Now Sven has gone to the middle of the track. Hunter's going to go on the outside. He is going on the outside. Is he going to outbrake Sven going down his turn one? He does. But Sven there, and look at that, Sven there doing a great job there. He's really defending himself very well here, coming down into turn two, sorry. And now Hunter gets the job done. So brilliant driving from both of those guys there. Sven, great performance from the number 69 Renault, Red Bull. Oh, Cristiano would not like that. He might shoot me. And it's Hunter now up in the fifth position now. It's Sven down six, but still great stuff for Sven. Now Hunter's got a 13-second gap then between himself and Steve. Is he going to be able to get himself on the podium here? Brilliant. Sven in sixth then, as Roscoe is now pulling away from Kingsburg, as Roscoe's on the soft tyre, whilst Kingsburg is going for a longer strategy on the medium tyre. Snap again, singing the praises of Snap. He's doing a good job out there. Got a yellow flag set to one, and that's oh no, we've had a big accident. That's a massive accident. It's the Williams and the Renault. Devan and Kingsburg has both crashed. Blas is in the pits. He's coming out now. Is that going to be a safety car? I don't think it is. I think we're all right. But Blas comes out of the pits now. Is also, we got not that bad in the pits. So Blas is going for the undercut here. Is the undercut powerful enough around here? To be honest, yesterday it wasn't really a game changer, but we'll find out today because all races are different. Mama Bad comes out in sixth position. Is anyone else coming to the pits on this lap? No, it's just a couple of leaders there. As you can see, Asdog and Steve now get very close against Steve. So we've only got 13 runners left out of the 18 that started. Had a bit of drama in the first corner and then in the second corner as well. So look at Steve Penny driving a very late braking, but Asdog got the inside there. So that was come from a long way back there. Price got a 27-second lead at the moment, but he's in the pit, so he is responding straight away. So Price is not taking any chances there, so he's in the pit. Blas, remember, had a 5-second penalty, so that's why he was going to lost some time in the pit lane. And of course, Price is doing a good job here of Kumquat on the medium tyres, coming and going back out. Steve is coming in the pit, so it's going to be a little close between himself and between Steve and not that bad. Price comes out of the pit lane now, so he would have actually extended his advantage because of the penalty. Unfortunately, Physico has left the session. Steve's in the pits. Blas comes out in the fourth position. Hunter's in the pits as well, so Hunter is now on the same strategy as these guys to the end. What a performance from Hunter again. Steve comes out of the pits now. Sven is also in the pits as well. Not that bad is coming across the line. Where is he going to fit into all this? There's Steve, but not that bad is in front still. He is in front, so sorry, I had to I had a lump in my throat, as the great Murray Walker said. So not that bad is in third position. Steve is in fourth. Kingsburg is in fifth, of course. Remember, he's doing a longer strategy. We got Hunter in sixth position. Snap seventh. Eighth is Sven. Ninth position is Penny. Double coming out in 10th position at the moment, as is Roscoe in 11th. And Asdog is in the pits as well. Well, he ain't changed his front wing on Asdog. I wonder if he's just struggling around this circuit. As Broke, well, I think he'll be going to the end on those medium times. So Asdog is in 13th at the moment. So look at that. Because of that 5-second penalty, look how much the time has cost Blas. He is 7 seconds behind now, Kumquat, so that's giving himself a bit of breathing space. Snap and Hunter is very close for comfort, and so is Penny and Sven in the battle for 8th and 9th at the moment. And yeah, Sven just come out of the pits. Steve has been on 10 laps these tyres now. Snap is dropping back from Hunter. Hunter is a second behind Kingsbury. And we didn't see what happened to Physico and the van, but by the looks, I think they've had a coming together, which is a bit unfortunate. So I can't really comment on that because I didn't see what happened. Yeah, racing's racing, isn't it? It's a strictly non-contact sport, but these things do happen. Into the pits comes Snap now. He's done 15 laps on those medium tyres. Steve going a bit wide there. 15 laps on the medium tyres. Is he going? And then he's going to have to do a bit more laps on the soft tyres. Is he going to be able to get to the end? Penny is in 8th position now, all over the back of Sven. Sven is on probably, in my opinion, his best race to date so far. It's been a beautiful drive from Sven. I keep singing praises of Double and Sven, but to be honest, they are doing some great racing out there. And Snap as well, don't forget Snap. But Broke Gorilla is on the outside of Snap, and Broke Gorilla like powers through Snap there. I think it's a bit too tentative there, as Hunter is by Kingsburg, and I think again he's done it in turn 5, I think. So there's some great racing there from Hunter, but unfortunately we're missing a lot of it. Yeah, because I didn't really expect many overtaking maneuvers in the midfield. Well, sorry, in the mid part of the track, but you know, as Hunter was telling us last night, you can overtake near enough. You can have a go in a couple of other places as well, which he did not reveal his secrets. I wish he did, so we could have kept an eye on him. But Hunter is now up into 5th position, 13 seconds behind Steve, and he's on the same strategy as the guys in front of him as well, more or less. Now coming into the final couple of corners, we're on board with Penny. He is only 6/10 away from Sven. Now Sven is just coming on the pits. Penny is on 11 lap old soft tyres, so their tyres are going to be past their best very soon. What about Steve at the moment? Steve is still all over the back of that battle. I said this was going to be a race-long battle, and this battle is starting to intensify a bit. As Snap and Broke Gorilla also having a cracking battle as well in the 11th and 12th. Remember that could turn to points in a minute. As Steve. We're staying on board with Steve now, as you can see, getting a bit of understeer. That's the dirty air effect that is behind the Renault, or behind any car. It's not just the Renault that has dirty air; it's all cars. As we've got a 3-second penalty for Blaz. Ross Snap is up in front of Broke Gorilla, and Snap is by Broke Gorilla now. So good move there from Snap. As he's up into 11th position, we got Asdog just behind them guys. So Snap is now 11th position and in front of Broke Gorilla. Good stuff. There's battles up and down the grid everywhere at the moment. It's very hard to decide who to watch. So we're watching Roscoe in Double at the moment, the battle for 9th and 10th position at the moment. 2 points for Double, a point for Roscoe, because points goes from 1st to 10th. Not like the old days where it's, you know, it's very, very hard to get points. I think it was down to 6, wasn't it, at one stage. And again, Steve's really struggling with the errors today, isn't he? As you can see, Not That Bad's got well over half, and Steve's just running against the limiter, isn't he? So, yeah, at the moment he's struggling with errors as they come onto the back straight. Hunter is actually only 12 seconds behind now. Penny has dropped back and I wonder if the soft tyres are now starting to scream. And now we're on board with Roscoe going on the outside of Double. Remember, they're on different compounds here, but they're the same age. Double doesn't fight that one too hard because as Roscoe now goes up into 9th, Double is down to 10th. And yeah, so I tell you what, these two are on a cracking battle. And look at this, they're all over each other now. And you can see Not That Bad is struggling here. Steve is now really... I think this is Steve just used a lot of errors in the middle sector there. Well, it's Not That Bad, it's just really is proper recovering at that second sector as well. So Stevens then is again within DRS of each other. We're keeping on the battles. Asdog is now all over the back of Broke, who's in the battle for 12 and 13. We're watching Broke's teammate at the moment but Not That Bad. You can see then Roscoe's got a 3-second penalty. Now he's closer, but unfortunately he's hitting the DRS, he's hitting the ERS, but this is a lot closer this time. Is he going to have a look on the outside? He does, but I think Not That Bad has that one covered. He does have that one covered. Oh, and Steve, I thought he was going into the wall there. We've seen Vanquish go into the wall there yesterday. Kingsburg is in the pits then from Williams, so now he is going to go on the soft tyre till the end of the race, and that will be a lot more comfortable than then I think his Snap is on the soft tyre as well. So as you can see, he's also fixing his front wing as well. So Double is going to have a bit of a reprieve here. Snap will be up into 10th now. So and the Kingsburg has now just come out the pits, and Double and Asdog. Kingsburg is going to come out just behind these guys, so we're going to have a good battle royale for 11th, 12th and 13th in a second. Asdog is in a 12th position. So now it's 18 seconds the gap is between and Hunter is now under 9 seconds behind. Steve Penny and Sven are still battling over 6th and 7th positions. Sven's having a great race, isn't he? I think there's a lot of guys out there that we give a good shout out today, because there's been some great driving up and down the field. And Hunter's gone very wide there, coming around the final corner again. Look at it. So now he's got a good drive again, but you can see not that bad. It's now starting to reel away. So what about the slipstream effect? You see that Steve now, you see anyone gaining at the moment. Is he going? He's going for, I thought he was going to go. He is going. No, he ain't. No, not quite. To be honest, I'm thinking that I was a bit more excited than Steve was, really. I think Steve had that well under control. And now then, so this battle has been going on, raging on for almost 21 laps. This has been a brilliant battle. Talk about, but Hunter wants to join that battle, don't he? He's now only 8 seconds behind. Steve Penny now coming into the pits, and he's going to put on the. He's going to. Wonder what tire? Is he going to put on the soft tires again? He is. So Steve now going on the soft tire again, because he started on the auto soft. So he's going to be quite quick coming towards him. The race. Snap is now through. Penny comes out in 10th position. So that's good time. And you can see now we got, as we said, we do have his Asdog dives at the inside of. Broke Gorilla there. Oh, bit of contact on the back there, but I think that Broke Gorilla there, and Kingsburg there just getting out of it there. So these guys not fighting for points at the moment, but I think they're fighting for pride, which is just as important. Well, it is to me anyway. That was Asdog is up into 11th, Broke 12th. Kingsburg is in 13th position. Got 3 second penalty for Asdog. He's kind of fallen into the trap there of going wide into turn 4. Now Steve is again, but you see he's dropping, he's losing time. Is he going to have another look? Going down into turn 1? No, not quite. So this time he's stayed behind, so he's not he's not sending my heart rate up. And so remember, this is the battle for the final step on the podium here in the Hungary here in Budapest. Well, lap 22 already. Incredible stuff from these guys. It's been brilliant to watch. Hunter is starting to drop back slightly. I wonder if he's just trying to look after his tires. Sven is a very strong 6th position. Roscoe 7th. We're going to just join the battle between as Kingsburg is now in front of Broke. So Broke is now dropped down to 12th position. Hunter's got a 3 second penalty, and Broke is down to 13th now, and he's on 12. He's on 13 lap over medium tires. Here comes Price now. The gap between himself and Blas has come down to 5.9 seconds as he comes across the line to the complete lap 22. He's on lap 23 in the Force India. His teammate Rocketoni was out in the first couple of laps, unfortunately. And now, as you can see, Steve and Not That Bad fighting for 3rd and 4th at the moment. Again, well, for the moment, they've been fighting all through the race, haven't they? On board now with Steve again. He's got DRS available. He is he's now starting to deploy his ERS again. You can see it's a stalemate going down to the first corner. This is where Steve needs to be quicker, doesn't he? This is the best place to overtake. But remember, Hunter is showing this race. Unfortunately, we haven't seen much of Hunter. He's overtaking escapades, but he's been doing it in some interesting places tonight, hasn't he? As you see now, Asdog, who's having a bit of a poor race, unfortunately, out there at the moment in 11th position. Kingsburg is in 12th position. Of course, he's just pitted and he's on fresh, soft tyres. And so is Penny, who's now starting to come up, now starting to reel in. Snap is in the points at the moment. I don't think the Snap has scored a point yet. So yeah, well, I'll definitely be cheering Snap on to get a point here today. That'll be good stuff. A lot of the drivers have had difficult seasons so far. Some great race today is you've seen in the background there. It's the end of running, but you might have seen a flash of pink, and that is our race leader. That is Prize. At the moment, the gap in the championship is 16 points, I believe. So it will be coming down. Hang on, bear with me a minute. So there's 7 points difference. So. 7 points difference. So 7 points difference. So 7 points difference. So there's 7 points difference. So there's 7 points difference. So 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 7 9. Yes, I work in IT, I need calculators. So I think the battle will be around 9 to 8. Snap gets a penalty there, so yeah, hopefully I ain't going to affect his race too much, but I have a feeling it might do in terms of his battle for between Penny and himself. 9th and 10th at the moment. We just have a look at the other battles. Roscoe is now starting to home in on Sven as well. So we've joined the battle for 9th and 10th end between. Oh, and Snap's gone right off the track there, and Penny goes through and up into 9th row. I'm not sure if Snap outbraked himself, or if we just felt that wasn't a battle that he wasn't really aiming for. Maybe he's aiming to stay in front of Asdog for the final point now. So yeah, but Penny is now up into 9th position. Snap is down to 10th, and you see Kingsburg is now all over the back of Asdog in the battle for 11th position. Now it comes across the line. There's Broke Gorilla making his debut, and let's have a look there. And but Asdog is not really going to defend fresh air there. We've joined the battle for 3rd position at the moment, but Roscoe, actually, we're going to just join this battle here between Sven and Roscoe, 6th and 7th. Roscoe is doing also a great job as well, as I think he had a bit of a difficult opening couple of laps as well. And so with Roscoe looking very much, they're both on the same age of tyre here. 11 laps to go. And this race is far from sorted. We've got Hunter, who is still 7 seconds back from the battle for 3rd and 4th. Asdog's got a 3-second penalty, and I think Kingsburg has just got by Asdog. I wonder if Asdog has made a mistake in the second sector. I wonder if Asdog has got a problem with setup, as the car balance doesn't look very happy today. There's coming out of the final corner now is Sven is really stretched his legs there, and Sven is harvesting going down the straight there. He's got nowhere at all going. And look at this, and Roscoe's going to go up the inside there. Sven now making it quite easy for Roscoe. He didn't have any of his others switched on there. So maybe I think this Sven might be happy that he's right up in the points, but yeah, he did. I think that he was harvesting quite a lot. He's still got, you can see he's got a lot of errors available there. Quite surprised that he didn't turn that up there. So Sven is in 7th position then, and he is now, to be honest, it's been a good performance from Sven. I've been singing his praises quite highly in this race. It's been excellent. We've rejoined the battle for 4th. It's still a stalemate. Yeah, to be honest, it's been a very tense battle, doesn't it, between these guys on exactly the same strategy, and not that bad. It's just quicker where he needs to be, which is on this straight. And we've lost Asdog. Asdog is out of the race, and he is. It's the same. Yeah, is that going to cause a safety car? I don't think it is. That's the same place of where he had a couple of offs in qualifying there. So Asdog, unfortunately, his miserable race is coming to an end for Asdog. So a bit unfortunate for Asdog out there today. He's really struggled, but I think he's kind of happy to call it a day, really. Lap 26, and you see his car has disappeared, so we're okay. We're going to carry on with the race. Personally, I would have thought that might have been a virtual safety car, and obviously because it was out of the way, I suppose. But yeah, now we're back on board. And Steve having a lot of air coverage tonight. Good stuff from Steve there. All over the back, it's not that bad. We're now in the final battle for the podium. The battle for the lead at the moment is now 5 seconds out, 5 seconds penalty for Blas for ignoring yellow flags. Might have cost us a proper duel today between the 1st and 2nd in the drivers' championship. But yeah, it's still been good stuff there. So Prize leads by 5.6 seconds from Blas. Their tyres are basically the same, they're just a lap older Blas is from Prize. Not that bad. And Steve, who's been fighting all the way through this race today. It's been a pleasure to watch both these two dueling out. It's been awesome stuff as Steve now comes across the line again. He's still 2 tenths behind at the moment from not that bad. It's very sensible driving as well from Steve, because it's quite hard to stick behind someone and not kind of lose your concentration going to the back zone, or just kind of throwing up the inside. So that's also something that would need to be commended in this race. Brilliant stuff from Steve. Hunter is 6.3 seconds back. He's done a great job, Hunter has, and I think that we should have stayed on board with Hunter for some of the race as well. We should have had the Sky Control multi-camera out, because some of his overtakes sounds like they've been quite good to watch. 6th position is Roscoe. Good recovery drive from Roscoe. Same with Hunter up into 6th position. Sven, it's been a brilliant drive from Sven today in 8th position, in 7th position. Double making his return after missing the last race, unfortunately. He is up into 8th though. good stuff from Double, but he's on 11 lap of soft tyres. That might come back to haunt him a bit. His teammate Penny is only a few seconds down the road in 9th. Snap has done a great job as well in 10th position. Hopefully the penalty is then going to cause him to drop out the points. Kingsburg is 11th, and Broke Gorilla on his debut is still in the race in 12th position, but on 18 lap old medium tyres. Those tyres might be going to start screaming now. I think a one-stop strategy from ultra soft to mediums might not have been the way to go. I would have tried that as well personally, but yeah, unfortunately I don't think that's worked out. But now this is going to be good, because Steve is now all over back. So this is the first time we've seen not that bad really get defensive. Steve going to go on the outside at the moment, not that bad. He's going to hug the inside, and you see Parts on the outside. Was Steve going to get the switch back? Not quite. You see, it's got very dull out there. I don't think the rain's going to affect us. I don't think it's going to be any rain, and if there is, I don't think it's going to affect us. Steve there, Steve there going right all over the back of Not That Bad, coming into Not That Bad has clipped a bit of the dirt there. There's no way through into turn 4 unless you have a proper wild lunge. There's very well controlled by both of those drivers there. It's quite easy to pick up penalties on the outside of that turn. Hunter is now 5.3 seconds back. I think he's going to run out of laps, so Hunter is, but I think will he be happy with 5th position? It depends on what went on the start, to be honest, and the damage to his front wing. But yeah, so the Snap is now being reeled in quite quickly from Kingsburg. So Snap is going to have a battle for the final points here. As I think all contact! Well, just as I was saying a couple of laps earlier, that they've had a great race, and you can see that yeah, that's how easy it is to lose a front wing. Steve has damaged his front wing. He is coming in the pit straight away. Would I have stayed out? I might have stayed out, but that is a big blow for Steve. He's had a great race up until that point, and he's in the pit, and he's going to go on the ultra softs, I think. That is a massive blow for Steve. That is, I'm gutted. They've had a great clean battle as well, and he's going to go on the ultra soft tires, and he's going to lose a couple of positions by the looks. So yeah, he's coming out of the pits now. His teammate Roscoe is going to go through. Sven might go through as well. No, I think he might come out just in front of Sven. So good turnaround from the McLaren team there. So he is in 6th position. So he's lost 2 positions Steve has. So that's a shame really, isn't it? But up to that point, and Snap coming in the pits there. He's done 11 laps on the soft tyre. So he's coming in and going to do some mega laps, I think, on the ultra soft tyres. I wonder if Broke Grid is going to do the same and come in the pits as well. No, he's staying out. So Snap is in the pits as well. So keeping on Steve now, because he's going to be rapid on those ultra soft tyres from now to the end of the race. Remember, we've only got 5 laps to go. And out comes Snap now. So Snap is also going to be rapid on those ultra softs as well. So Prize still leads. He's now just 6.1 second from Blaz in second. Not that bad as third, but he's got almost a half-a-minute gap between himself and the leaders. Is in third position. The Hunter, great recovery driver. He's only 3 seconds behind. Not that bad. So not that bad. Might have to keep the pressure up still. Roscoe in 5th position. 6th position is Steve. 7th position is Sven. 8th Double. 9th is Penny, and 10th is Kingsburg. I wonder, are we going to see some team orders in the McLaren? Well, to be honest, I think Steve's going to. There's no disrespect to Roscoe, because Roscoe's a great driver, but Roscoe's on 14 lap over medium tyres, whilst Steve's basically on these ultra soft tyres, which basically there are 3 steps difference between the medium and the ultra soft, because in between the medium tyres is the super soft and the soft. And Doubles in the pits as well, so we've got a lot of action. As Steve goes on the outside there, I think that looked like a good move there. As Kingsburg is up into 9th, so Double in the pits, and Snap is now coming into the back of Broke Gorilla. As out of the pits now comes Double, so Double is out in 10th position and just behind Blaz. So Blaz has just lapped. I thought it was Snap then. I was like, how has Snap got in front there? Almost had a blinded opening lap. So yeah, we got a bit of pit activity towards the end of this race. So this is definitely going to be a sprint finish now for these guys. As we're on board with Snap then. He's had a very good drive for Snap last day. You can see, look how quicker he is going into turn 4. I'm going to hide behind the pillow here because this ain't going to end well. Oh, good. As a Snap was definitely tempted, wasn't he, to have a good old look there. Steve up into 5th, as we just mentioned. And I think this is the closest battle on track at the moment. We're keeping on the... Steve goes fast on the 119.2. So he gets fast up on us. We don't get points for fastest up just yet. That'll be in the next game. Of course, the next game is out fairly soon. June, July time. And there's Snap then. I'm really bad with dates. Every year I always, as long as I know the month, it doesn't really matter what the day is, does it? As Brooke Willis got 3-second penalty there. I think quite a lot of that turn 14 there. As see Hug in the corner there, so Broke is really struggling. He's done 21 laps on those medium tyres. That's a great innings on those medium tyres. As you can see, lovely onboard shot here at the DRS here. So we're going to see the DRS really working. You can see Blaz just having a look. He's gone on the outside, gone back on the inside then. So he come back on the inside for some from some extra toe. He's now on the inside. Broke Gorilla having a look. He's a bit of fighting spirit there from Broke, but unfortunately his tyres are way past their best. And I think that's a done deal. So Snap is 9 seconds back from Double, but Double's also on the ultra soft tyre as well. So I wonder if Double going to be causing Kingsburg a bit of aggro towards the end of this race. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, long day at work. And now we're on board with Kumquat now. We've on board with his pole position, that wasn't we? And it was splendid to be on board with Kumquat, and he's tell you what, this man is very impressive, isn't he? Formerly known as Nosy. I think his first ever race in IRC. Unfortunately, it ended in the wall after the second corner. And I remember that race because that was my. I was on my second ever race in IRC. I remember a lot of talk being about how quick Nosy was, and unfortunately he was out before before he even completed the lap. But this man is this man is very quick, isn't he? Nosy is, and to be honest, he's had a very clean race today. And to be honest, it's been controlled as well, hasn't it? He's controlled it from the front. There's a couple of moments where Blaz was within the DRS zone, but he didn't look flustered, did he? Well, he didn't look flustered when he was on board. Someone might start to feel a bit flustered. It's not that bad. We're on lap 33. We've still got 3 laps to go. As we're on board with Hunter now, he's done a good drive today. He's on 17 lap medium tyres. Steve is unfortunately 17 seconds back, so I don't think he's going to cause Hunter or not that bad any issues. So I think obviously we do have a driver's day vote in the group chat, but I just like to pick some guys out as well. But it's going to be a difficult one, isn't it? Really, because I think a lot of guys have had a great race. We've had Kumquat, who's had an amazing race today. He's just been pure. He's just been absolutely flawless. Blaz unfortunately got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Not that bad, and Steve's had a great battle, and it's very hard to have a battle most of the way through the field without making a mistake, and not that bad, didn't make a mistake. Brilliant stuff. Hunter, who's almost lost it there. Hunter has had a great recovery drive, hasn't he? He's moved up from almost at the back to 4th. Steed has also done a great job as well. Unfortunately, that one mistake has cost him 4th position, but you can see that he would have been fighting with Hunter at the moment for the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And Roscoe in 6th position. Sven, who's had a great job, great race in 7th place. Steve Penny is in 8th. Kingsburg 9th. Double is in 10th position. Snap just outside the point in 11th, and Broke Gorilla is in 12th on his debut. He's done 24 laps on those medium tyres. They're well past their best now. Lap 34 then out of 35, and I think we're just going to join Kumquat now, as he is on the final tour of the Hungarian Grand Prix. As here he comes, and as you can see then he's not the final tour. What am I on about? I don't know. Unless we got one of the flag happy marshals who waved the flag a lap before, like they have done the Chinese Grand Prix, for example. I think it was 2015, 16, 2015 maybe. But as we're on board now with Prize, and Hunter is now in DRS range. Whoa, and you see Hunter there really fighting the car there. That's how much he's pushing at the moment. Of course, these tyres are way past their best now. But both these guys are on a similar type of rubber. It depends how much, because Hunter has been charged, so he might have taken a bit more life out of the tyre then, not that bad. But you see, he's really pushing on, isn't he, at the moment? As Hunter is. He wants that final podium position. Remember that this could come down to the to actually penalties as well. See, the back end is starting to drift a bit. Now then, so this would be Hunter's final chance into turn 1. So he's in DRS range. I think he's too far back there. Is not that bad as not as bad as too far in front there. Unless this is going to be a wild lunge from Hunter, I don't think it is. I think that yeah, he's too far back there in the Ferrari. But good drive from Hunter, brilliant drive. And now he's going to, I think that might be Hunter's one and only opportunity. We're now watching Kumquat now coming through the final sector then for the final time. And it's been a great drive, hasn't it? Hunter's now all over the back of, not that bad. So we're going to have a grandstand finish for the final podium. We've also got Kingsburg, who is all over the back of Penny for 8th and 9th. Well, they're just outside of the DRS range at the moment. And coming through the final corner then for the final time. Kumquat then hugs the inside, and he is now in the championship lead, and it's down to under double figures now. Prize wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff there. Excellent performance. Blas comes home in 2nd position. He'd be ruining that 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flags. Then we got to wait for almost half a minute back to 3rd position. So those two are in a league of their own today. Blas and Kumquat. Coming into 3rd and 4th position then, so these two have been so Hunter has been on a charge, hasn't he, throughout this race. So he's very attackive racer from Hunter, not that bad. Finishes 3rd. Hunter is 4th. Roscoe is 5th. There's a problem, there's a wing gone off for Steve. Oh no, Steve's had a great race, only up to the last 5 laps as Roscoe will finish 5th. Sven won't be able to get into 6th position here as Steve's trying to get around as quick as possible. You see Sven at the top of your screen now. There he is. It's going to be touching over. I think Sven might. It's unfortunately too far back. 5th. Steve is going to come home in 6th position minus the front wing, but Steve, I think that's a bit of a. He's had a good race of Steve, hasn't he? Sven will be in a 7th position, and Steve Penny is going to be in 8th position. He's got a bit of a gap now over Kingsburg. So Kingsburg in 8th position. Kingsburg is in 9th position, and I think Double will round out the top 10. What a race. There's been some outstanding drives today. It's a very technical and hard track and very difficult to keep your concentration. Stunning performance from Kumquat. He was in a class, well, him and Blas were in a class of 1. And I think that I think that 5-second penalty for Blas might have caused Blas has just joined us in the in the box now. Maybe jump a bit as we're just having a look at the podium celebration. So Kumquat won the race, Blas 2nd, not that bad. Thank you. Brilliant race there, Blas. You ruined that 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags at the beginning, no?
No. Rim and Octoni spun. I think Octoni hit Rim, and I got illegal overtaking on Evel.
Oh really? Oh, that's
yeah.
That's such a shame, because I think as soon as that 5-second penalty happened, you dropped quite far back from Knowles, because up till that point you two were Lionel Stern. It was great to see both you guys fighting up there, and it was awesome to see actually. And you guys were so far in front. The speed was amazing.
Yeah, we are good friends.
Yeah.
I was so angry he didn't get a fucking warnings.
Pardon the language. We're on ITV. So yeah, well done, Blas. Great race. Hunter, what a race from you as well. Unfortunately, you lost your front wing, I think, in turn 1 or on the opening lap. But what a comeback drive. How would you feel about
that? Yeah, it seems to. Obviously, I lost the front wing. Well, I lost half of it at turn 1. I lost the other half of it at turn 2, both off Force India. And then that was it. I was just flooring it for the rest of the race. One more lap, and I reckon I would have got the 3rd place. If I didn't pick up a penalty, I was trying to gap. I think it was Kingsburg, I got the penalty. But if I didn't get that, then obviously I'd have got third. But still happy with fourth to say I had no front wing at the beginning of the race. So
Yeah, that was a
still
great drive.
points.
Unfortunately, to be honest, because you were saying last night about you got some tricks up your sleeves about where to overtake, and I've missed a couple of those overtakes really, because I didn't expect you to overtake in some places around where you were. So yeah, that was great stuff. You weren't bluffing. I think turn 5 you had a did you overtake someone at turn 5? Around that?
Yeah,
area?
I got quite a few people at turn 5, and then I went back in Dangling into the chicane. I got one of the Williams. I think it was Fizzy. I managed to get Fizzy there. I got one of the Red Bulls there. It was like that's where I knew where I was strongest. They was going a little bit wide after coming out of turn 4, so I was just shoving it up the inside, short shifting, and then I'd get the acceleration. But obviously, fourth isn't bad. I'd like to add the third as a bit more of a positive, but I'll still take fourth.
I was going to say that's a massive positive from where you were after the opening lap to finish fourth. Impressive, and because you was on
I was down in about 15th, 16th, something like that.
Yeah, it was literally near the back, and somehow you you then ended up on the same strategy as everyone else and still finished fourth. So very well done today.
I had the choice. It was either go onto the mediums and not catch anyone, and then have to do it all at the back at the last stint. So it was just mainly put the softs back on. Everyone was still on the softs, but I had the fresher ones, and then the mediums were even better than the softs, to be fair. So
well done, brilliant race. I think you might be in contention for driver of the day. Nolze, or shall I say Kumquat? He did join us, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Oh yeah, great drive today. I'd say absolutely flawless. I was kind of singing that song in the box in my head. But great drive today. Unfortunately, I think we were robbed of a brilliant battle between you and Blas because of the 5-second penalty at the beginning. But
yeah,
did you have that under control?
Yeah, I heard. I was in the party chat with Blas and obviously heard about the 5-second time penalty for illegal overtakes, which hopefully will get overturned anyway because it doesn't make any sense, really, does it? And then he also told me that he had a 3-second time penalty as well with 3 warnings. So basically just had a little cruise around Hungary for a bit after that. No, it was a bit of a weird one because obviously I think if everybody got around the first lap cleanly, it would have been a much different race.
Yeah, that's a shame, really. I'm not really sure what happened in turn 2, unfortunately, because I was looking forward to seeing Murphy being in that freeway battle as well, because he was looking very strong qualifying. So unfortunately, we'll have to see. We might have to look back at the tape on that, because I was getting very excited about how the undercut was going to force you into a decision, but I forgot about the 5-second penalty. So you come out 7 seconds in front of Blas, and I think after that you just
actually. When I was looking at the strategy, obviously it said to pit on lap 14, which is what Blas did as well. But I clicked it one over, and I gained, apparently, according to Jeff, I gained 2/10 by pitting on lap 15 instead. So my tyre wear wasn't too bad, so I thought I'll carry on one more lap, and it actually gave me about 2 seconds on track time, and not including penalties, and obviously. That helped as well, get a bit of a gap.
I think there was one stage just before you both pitted there was you were Lionel Stern going down the pit straight for a couple of laps. Was that a genuine pace, was it, or was it just kind of more concerned about both of you guys just saving your tyres for later on?
I was worried he was going to dive bomb me, really. I was terrified. No, well, I knew from the elite race yesterday that the DRS isn't very powerful around here, so yeah, I was putting it in rich and a bit of ERS to try and sort of avoid the dive bomb if it happened. So yeah, it was close, but it was trying managing it.
I said that was a very perfect race, and I think you're under double points now in the championship. I think you're about 9 points behind Blas. How are you feeling for the second half? How are you feeling for the second half of the season?
Well, if it's raining in Spa, then that lead's going to increase. Put it that way. But hopefully everything else will be all right.
And Blas, what do you think of the second half of the season? Is this your stronger second half of the season? Are you like a Lewis Hamilton?
Some races I'm very strong, but some races I'm a weakness one. So
Oh,
not so fast.
well, that's looking good. And what about you, Hunter? What are you feeling for the second half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I've got Singapore coming up, and that's one of my favourites, but obviously I'm a bit too far back now to think I'm in contention, so just get a few podiums, get some consistent results, and see where I end up.
Yeah, and prepare for the season 6, which will be on Formula 1 2019, and try and get some momentum, isn't it? Well, thank you all for joining us, guys. We'll be back in a week's time for the Belgian Grand Prix, the best track on the calendar, in my opinion, because you know.
Not.
Oh, really?
Because it rains.
Yeah. Of course, the elite guys is on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, whilst the super guys are on Thursday. So join us for both races, and yeah, brilliant stuff today.